Now, for more insight, let's cross live to Mr. Einar Tangen in Beijing. He's a senior fellow with the Taihe Institute and the chairman of Asian Narratives. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Tangen. So what do you make of the authenticity of this time's leak, especially those details showing the deep involvement of the United States in Ukraine?
Well, there are different narratives that are being put out there. The Russians believe this is a false flag narrative in order to gin up more military aid against them in Ukraine. The Pentagon obviously saying they're taking it seriously and they're investigating. But I think for the majority of the world, this is just an example of the kind of hypocrisy where the U.S. accuses others of spying, or in essence, doing exactly what it does every single day.
So the leaks, authentic or not, show that the U.S. is eavesdropping on its allies, and this has been approved by at least earlier leaks like those from Edward Snowden. And this time it shows that the United States has been eavesdropping on South Korea, Israel, and some other allies in Europe. How will those ally nations react this time? Will they just sit by?
Well, it really depends. I mean, at this point, no one is surprised that the U.S. is spying on them. How else do you use a $90 billion a year budget? You're going to be spying, in essence, on everybody. But, how are the people going to take this? Inside each of these capitals, they're used to it. They just say, oh, well, more of the usual. But people around the world are now waking up to the fact that the U.S. preaches one thing and practices another.
Well, Mr. Tangen, let's take a look at more details from this time's leak first. The recent incident is not the first time U.S. intelligence information has been leaked on the internet. This incident began in March, when one user of a gaming server posted 10 leaked documents related to the Ukraine conflict. Previously, last year, players of another online game repeatedly posted sensitive military documents, apparently in an effort to win arguments among themselves. In 2019, ahead of the British general elections, documents related to US-UK trade relations appeared on several websites. Many past leaks provided evidence of the US eavesdropping on its allies, as we just discussed. For example, in 2021, Danish state broadcaster DR disclosed that the US had partnered with Denmark's Foreign Intelligence Unit to spy on senior officials of neighboring countries, including then German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The partnership lasted from 2012 to 2014. Meanwhile, in 2013, it was revealed that the US had monitored the phone conversations of 35 world leaders. So having reported that, Mr. Tangen, do you think such leaks that's been going on for many years, if not many decades, is a destabilizing factor for both US politics and world stability?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you can't say that you're about values, upholding the global order, respecting, international institutions when you're violating them on a daily basis. I mean, look at the hullabaloo about this balloon size of 3 city buses, clearly visible to the naked eye, and the U.S. acted as if somehow they had been violated, when in fact the U.S. flies a fleet of 32 spy planes, these V-2 high-altitude planes. And coincidentally, one of those planes took a picture of the balloon, and they're running all over the world spying on people. So once again, it's hypocrisy. It is simply the U.S. Chooses to accuse others of what it does itself. And this is becoming more and more transparent, not only to allies, but also to the world at large. You're not safe with the U.S. They're spying on you. They see no boundaries whatsoever in terms of what they can do, because what they do is right and what everyone else does is wrong. So the hypocrisy goes on. I don't know how you can address it. I think it's going to be up to the people to decide that this is not the kind of force that they want in the world.
Thank you very much, Mr. Einar Tangen in Beijing.